So you saw a raised pistol. Weren't you frightened?
That's what she said.
It could be said we students of Ivy University know no fear.
Are you just going to say that to every line?
The moment I saw that pistol, my innocence of justice compelled me to take action. That was certainly brave of you. You might have gotten shot. Eh?
You certainly were lucky. If I were in the killer's shoes, I certainly wouldn't have left a witness behind.
He actually looks like he had no idea he was in danger.
Regardless, I attempted to halt the bloodshed.
Attempted to blood the whole shed. Are you sure both men were able to hear your voice?
They were, of course. My high, exquisite voice echoed through the park.
And the victim responded to that clarion call.
Quite.
Did you hear the gunshot at the same time as the victim turned?
Indeed, I would say about the same time, to be precise.
And the victim didn't ask you for help?
It can be said that he didn't have time to ask. He didn't even have time to take a single step.
I'm totally sure that the killer fired because Mr. Stickler startled him.
Don't say that too loud, Trucy, please. Can you describe the killer's actions more clearly?
Well, first he hit the A button.
He seemed quite surprised, especially considering that it was he who did the deed. As we can see, human psychology is a tangled web indeed.
Said indeed. He simply couldn't believe what he had done. He shot, he panicked, a common tale, but true.
Unfortunately, before I could take further action.
You didn't try to apprehend the criminal?
It all happened so fast, I'm afraid I hadn't the time.
Doesn't something about that strike you as odd, Apollo?
Exclamation point. What?
The killer was in a hurry, right? He fired the pistol and tossed it right away.
According to the testimony, that's what happened, yeah?
In that case, I'd expect to find something that we didn't find.
Find
Bullet
something?
shell casing, right?
I want... Find what?
The shell casing.
Yes, you should find that.
I liked that contradiction. Kinda sad to see it go.
Not as sad as I feel. What do we do now?
At least the testimony's getting a little clearer.
She's right. Maybe I can find something to use in this new testimony.
And yes, we do have something to use. And we can use it right over here.
What are we going to present? Oh, God.
We're going to present the pistol here.
We're presenting our piece. Wait a second.
Tisk, another misleading request. Yet you're so beholden to your own mode of discourse, you can't see how it affects you.
Huh?
Wait a second, you say? A second? Are we intended to wait just that? A single second, 1/60th of a minute? That's hardly enough time to draw a breath, let alone make a statement in court. Now, had you asked for a longer period of time, say 3 minutes 35 seconds, that... Mr. Justice!
I'm asking you to shut up. Yes, Your Honor?
Am I to understand you are objecting to the length of the second?
Yes, I mean, no, just look at the damn pistol! Doesn't have a single fingerprint on it.
Ah, a common ploy, made all the more common, I fear, by the prevalence of television. Criminals these days are loath to leave fingerprints.
Wait, but you said the killer tossed the gun and ran.
That's right. He didn't have time to wipe the gun for prints.
Woo!
Actually, a well-oiled gun.
Ah, the little girl sticking it to the university student. There's a song in there.
I'm not little.
That's what he...
Yes, you are. Then let's think... now let's think like a Deutsch. Dann jetzt sollen wir... Then let's think like adults, shall we, Fräulein? What if the killer, the defendant, was wearing gloves?
Gotta admit, I didn't think of that, Apollo.
Well, Mr. Justice.
Could the killer have been wearing gloves? Nah, definitely not. The record of the murder weapon is very clear about one thing. The fingerprints were wiped, which means some trace of prints remained, which contradicts your testimony. If everything happened as you say it did, he wouldn't have had time to wipe the pistol.
They could have wiped it beforehand and then worn gloves. And then...
That may be, but it does not change what I saw. The killer, the defendant. He threw down the murderous weapon from his hand and fled. And this pistol was found at the scene of the crime, strongly suggesting that this was the weapon he disposed of.
So smart.
That sounds solid to me. Well, her forehead. Her forehead, any of your precious objections?
What gives, Apollo? Let's see that voice training go to work.
La 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 la.
You know, I've only recently realized something. No matter how much you train your voice, it doesn't matter if you have nothing to say.
What do you mean, nothing to say?
Like, nothing to say.
Isn't it obvious from what the witness just said?
Nothing!
Nothing.
Huh?
Nothing,
Isn't what obvious?
nothing.
When he restated what he saw just now, he said he saw Walkie drop a murderous weapon. But that's not the same as being 100% sure of what Walkie threw away.
You're right.
He's just confused because a pistol was found at the scene. Poor Mr. Stickler. It must be hard to be so perfect and yet so wrong.
Well, I can say that I'm quite offended. Well, it is indeed true that once in my youth I was seized by the teacher and pressed on the back for all to see the apple she wore where we my name.
Now just shut up!
What we can say for certain is that the witness saw the killer throw something. Does the defendant have anything to say about this?
Well, if what he threw wasn't a pistol...
Then it had to be something else.
No.
At least one person in the defense team seems to be thinking.
Grr, I'll wipe that smile off your pretty face, Gavin.
Perhaps you can inform the court as to the nature of this something else. What did the killer throw away before fleeing the scene?
Panties.
Not the panties. Maybe it's this knife.
Take that.
Is that a sword?
It's not big enough to be a sword.
I saw one of those in
You would
the
know the difference.
I saw one of those in the late night movie last night.
Great. Sleep-deprived judge. This knife was found at the scene of the crime, with the defendant's prints on it.
His prints?
Clear evidence. This single piece of evidence proves two important things. One, that what the defendant threw down wasn't a pistol. Two, that the defendant wasn't wearing gloves.
Indeed.
Oh, her forehead. You've forgotten two other things you've just proven.
Uh-huh.
One, that the man the witness saw was the defendant, Mr. Waki Kitaki. Zwei, that the defendant was holding a knife with the intent of harming the victim.
Indeed.
Never underestimated Gavin. That's the lesson here.
This court is of the opinion that our witness is fond of making assumptions. In that light, I believe it would behoove us to hear about what really occurred. With less assuming, please.
You know what's also behooved? A horse.
It is always the same with you people. Mark left the house on foot, and 5 minutes later his brother left after him. How long would it take for Mark's brother to catch up to him? Assuming that Mark never had to stop for a traffic light. Assuming. Yes, that's what I said. Assuming. As if that were a probable situation at all. Yet here you are assuming that my assumption is no better. Ahem. What this court assumes is that the witness will testify as to what happened after the shot was fired.
I just like making gunshot noises.
You do.
Why not? It's fun.